Park Kang, a well-known actor, was experiencing an exceptional rise in his career at that time. His achievements were so impressive that his mother was able to purchase anything she desired in the world. He has achieved great wealth and success in his career, which has made him boastful about his fortune. He lives in a luxurious apartment, which is very expensive. Kang's has a manager named Jo Yoon. Jo Yoon was also an actor, but he decided to quit acting because he didn't get a good role. After that, he became Kang's manager. To make a living, Kang was responsible for managing his affairs and schedule. One night, Kang attended an event for filmmakers where he was awarded as the best male actor on stage. Kang gave a speech saying he did not expect to be able to achieve this point in his career as an actor. He started his career with very little and came from a remote place. In a different place, Soo-hyun watched Park Kang receive an award on TV. Soo-hyun was Kang's ex-girlfriend when he was impoverished. She recently came back from New York to open her art exhibition in Seoul that night on Christmas Eve. Jun was supposed to go home to spend time with his family, but Kang asked him to stay and accompany him to a bar. It was the same bar where he used to drink a lot before becoming a famous actor. They chatted while reminiscing about their past. Yoon and Kang had auditioned for a role together, and they had reached the final round. Kang was unexpectedly lucky, as fate had a special plan for him. He won the audition and became a famous actor. Meanwhile, Jo Yoon decided to stop acting and became Kang's manager. If Kang had not passed the audition, Yoon would have had a family with Soo-hyun and lived happily. Kang remembered that he had dumped Soo-hyun in this bar 10 years ago. As a result, they ended their relationship. Kang is pursuing his acting career. Soo-hyun is going to New York to deepen his art knowledge. After leaving the bar, Kang still wanted Jo Yoon to accompany him to drink at another bar, but because it was Christmas Eve, Jo Yoon wanted to be with his family at home, so he told Kang to take a taxi and go home alone. When the actor Kang was drunk and riding in a taxi on Christmas Eve, he chatted with the driver. The driver felt lucky to have such a famous actor as his passenger. The driver thought that Kang must be living the good life and that he must be happy for having everything a man could want. Kang replied that the driver did not know what he felt. The driver then said that being rich and famous does not guarantee happiness or contentment in this world. The driver knew what was in Kang's heart, and he asked a question that didn't make sense. He asked what Kang would do if he was given a chance to change the past. The driver knew that Kang was thinking of changing the past when he broke up with Soo-hyun. He said that he could help to turn that thought into reality. Kang woke up on the wooden floor of a modest house the next morning. He was shocked to find himself in a place he didn't know and see 2 kids calling him father. He was even more shocked to see a figure he knew well. Soo-hyun, who was his long-lost love, is his wife. Kang was at his own house. 2 children, Soo-hyun and others, thought that Kang had not yet sobered up from his drunkenness because he had drunk too much alcohol the previous night. Kang was still processing what had happened that morning, so he tried to contact Jo Yoon. However, he was unable to reach her. Kang decided to return to his apartment. He casually strolled inside and unexpectedly encountered a security guard. The security guard was unfamiliar with Kang, and this caused confusion. Kang went to the top floor and attempted to open the door lock with a combination, but the lock did not open. He was surprised to see someone open the door to his apartment. He thought that a thief had broken into his apartment. The owner of the apartment thought that the kangaroo was his wife's lover. He broke into the apartment and created a lot of commotion, causing the security guards to intervene and secure him. As a result, the atmosphere became chaotic. Kang was frustrated and confused when he arrived at the police station. He had tried to explain to everyone that he was a famous actor, but no one knew him. The police said that the apartment was not his as written in the database. Kang was shocked to find that all his belongings had been stolen in just one night. Kang was even more embarrassed when Soo-hyun came to pick him up. Soo-hyun said that she was Kang's wife, but Kang said that she was not his wife. Of course, Soo-hyun was angry. She thought that Kang was asking for a divorce. The police calmed her down and said that Kang seemed a bit confused because he had claimed to be an actor. 2 people went home. Kang was still thinking about whether he had married Soo-hyun. He was irritated with his husband asking about their relationship again and again. Soo-hyun once again gave Kang a slap to wake him up. Kang saw a taxi passing by at that moment. He remembered the incident that night after drinking with Jo Yoon. He took a taxi and talked to the driver. After that, he ended up there. When he arrived home, Soo-hyun scolded him again for talking about nonsense. After that, he got to know his daughter, Ro-hee. He told her that he had forgotten his memory and couldn't remember his life with her at that time. Soo-hyun said that he was going to go see his friends after his art class, so he told Kang to look after the kids. Kang did not want to listen to music and told Soo-hyun to hire a babysitter instead. Soo-hyun thought that Kang was still drunk. Of course, this was not true. Soo-hyun asked Kang to stop drinking and help her pay the bills because the rent for the house had not yet been paid. Yesterday, Kang still wanted to find answers about the taxi driver, so Kang took the children with him to find the answer. He went to the taxi company to ask about the taxi he took on Christmas Eve. He told the staff about the taxi's characteristics, but sadly, the staff informed him that there was no taxi that matched that description. Kang asked his twin children for information about his new life. He said that he was an actor, but he was not famous. Ha! Then showed Kang who was on a TV show. Kang was surprised to see himself playing a cameo role in the show. Soo-hyun told Kang to tell her about what happened this morning when he interrupted someone's apartment. Kang explained that he had actually come from a different world after taking a strange taxi last night. Kang ended up in this situation because the taxi driver gave him a life he did not choose, which was the life he had with Soo-hyun. Soo-hyun believed that Kang's statement was nonsensical. She felt uncomfortable sleeping with Kang after what had happened between them. After sleeping alone for a long time, he finally started sleeping with the person he used to love. With his new family, the family he never thought he would have, things had started to improve. He had to provide comfort and support, both as a father figure and a husband to his twin children and himself, through sleeping, eating, and dealing with their daily needs. Kang did not have an emotional connection with the twins. He was still struggling to adapt to his new life. It is a repetitive and boring life for him. Soo-hyun reminded Kang one night that he had a shooting schedule with Mystic TV for a movie. Mystic TV was a TV channel with low ratings and poor movies. Even though he did well and his family was proud of him, he still believed that the channel is lousy. At that time, his friend Woo-hee called him and asked him to help promote her theatrical performance. It turned out that apart from being on TV, Kang also made money through theater shows. When Kang finally met Jo Yoon, he asked why he couldn't contact him. He said that Jo Yoon was currently down to promote his latest movie. It was discovered that Jo Yoon's manager in the reality show was a famous actor. Kang realized that his career had been swapped with Jo Yoon one day. He tried to go to the agency office where Jo Yoon worked. He broke through and went upstairs. Finally, he met Jo Yoon, who still recognized him. He then invited Kang to eat together. Kang had information that Jo Yoon could become an actor. He withdrew from the final audition to chase Soo-hyun to the airport. After having lunch with Jo Yoon appeared and became an actor in this reality. He then went to catch up with Soo-hyun at her gallery. Kang knew that he unintentionally missed the chance to audition because he was focused on pursuing Soo-hyun. Kang decided to break up with Soo-hyun to focus on his career, which is different from the reality he came from. Since then, Kang asked what would have happened if Soo-hyun had gone to New York 10 years ago. Soo-hyun said she prefers her current life with Kang and their twins. Recently, they performed a theatrical performance. Jo Yoon, who was there that night, fell asleep while watching the show. Jo Yoon had treated everyone to dinner earlier. Jo Yoon showed interest in Woo-hee. In a previous life, they had a close relationship. Jo Yoon even offered his credit cards to Woo-hee so that they could use them to pay for whatever they wanted. At Kang's house, there was a party with Soo-hyun and her friends. They were eating food that Kang had brought from a restaurant earlier. Kang is an actor who is not famous, but he is popular among the ladies in the neighborhood. The following day, in the morning, Kang's mother visited their house. In this reality, Kang's mother was different from the mother in his reality. His mother was concerned after she found out that Kang had resigned from his current job. She took Kang to the terminal to go home. She prayed that her son would get a good job like Jo Yoon. She also gave him some money to treat his family and buy flowers for his father's grave. Kang carried out her request immediately. However, as usual, Kang did not want to go to his father's grave because he had bad memories of his father. Therefore, Kang never wanted to come to his father's grave. Kang went for an audition at another time. His acting was impressive. However, the auditioner knew that Kang was close to Jo Yoon and often hung out with him. Instead of giving Kang the role, they asked him to convince Jo Yoon to join his film. He met Jo Yoon and told him about it. Jo Yoon was surprised to hear that. Additionally, the fact that he deliberately didn't take the audition because he wanted Kang to get the role was also surprising. He wanted to help his family financially. Yoon understood that Kang couldn't spend his time taking auditions after auditions. In order to find someone he trusted to work for him, Yoon decided to offer Kang a job as his manager. Kang was unable to accept the offer because his life had significantly altered, and he felt let down by what he had accomplished. Kang had trouble contacting Soo-hyun the next day. He also found an announcement that she would not be teaching classes anymore at her gallery. Another problem arose when he and his twin children were playing at the playground that afternoon. He was asking about the signatures that actors usually give to fans. Kang showed her how to sign. When she saw it, she prayed that one day her father would be able to sign autographs for other people, like famous actors too. Suddenly, Ha had an accident while playing alone. He was rushed to the hospital shortly after. Soon, Soo-hyun arrived. It was discovered that she had worked. Kang was upset because Soo-hyun did not tell him and made him look bad as the head of the family. He checked his ATM and found out that he had no money in it. Kang was disappointed that he was unable to change the past 10 years. He had no other choice than to accept the offer from Jo Yoon to work as his manager. With his experience seeing Jo Yoon as his manager, he started his work by making agendas for Jo Yoon in the shooting area and safeguarding him from the paparazzi. Kang also offered advice to Jo Yoon on salary requests for his films and advertisements. With his 10 years of experience, Kang is able to provide Jo Yoon with guidance on maximizing his earning potential. Sometimes, Kang also helped Jo Yoon to read the script, and it made Kang get carried away with emotions because he hadn't read a script for a long time in his reality. Jo Yoon took a long time learning the script, which caused delays. The extras were frustrated with the wait and resigned due to his slow progress. The director decided to offer the role to Kang because he knew that Kang was an actor. Kang wanted to do it. Kang did a good job riding the horseback. His action was praised by the director. Instead of just acting, the main actor was able to ride a horse with unique shooting properties. Kang did his job as an actor with complete professionalism and dedication. Even his family was amazed by his performance. They were also happy that he was starting to enjoy his life as the head of the family. He loves his family more than before, even though his life was better off before. He could eat comfortably and pay bills on time because his income was stable. Therefore, his love for his family has increased. Kang took them to Jo Yoon's apartment, which she had lent them to live in. Apparently, this changed him and caught Soo-hyun's attention. Soo-hyun disagreed with the plan. She believed that money had changed Kang completely. Kang wanted to forget and leave their small house where they started everything. Leaving a lot of memories with the twins was a concern for her. She did not want to lose her current apartment. Kang just wanted to give the best for his wife and children. Kang still thought like his previous life for Soo-hyun, although the most important thing was not their relationship. Because of that, they started arguing at night. Kang, who couldn't sleep, went to his children's room. He realized that in his current life, luxury was not something that must be pursued. Kang quickly learned from his mistakes in his past life. Although he was far away from a wealthy life, he found happiness in his current situation. Days, weeks, and months passed, and Kang was able to move on and forget about his old life. He finished his role in the drama with Jo Yoon impressively. Kang also had many fans, and the director praised his good performance. The director suggested that Jo Yoon and Kang should swap positions, as Jo Yoon is more suited to be a manager than Kang. Kang had a special interview session that helped him advance his career from an extra actor to a manager, and from a manager to a professional actor. His achievement made his family happy, but Kang still worked as a manager for Jo Yoon when he received the Best Actor award. He surprisingly thanked Kang for his support, saying that without him, he wouldn't have been able to achieve that. Jo Yoon also said that Kang was a better actor than himself, and he asked Kang to drink at the bar to celebrate the award. He told Kang that there was a role vacancy for the next drama. The shooting for the drama was done overseas for 3 months. Kang refused the offer because he did not want to be away from his family for such a long time. Instead of accepting the offer, Kang decided to find another job. At that time, Jun finally said that he had fallen in love with Woo Hee, the tomboyish girl he admired seeing Kang living with his family. Yoon offered to exchange his life with Kang. After completing their task, Yoon was picked up by Hee. Kang decided to leave in a taxi. Last Christmas Eve, Kang's life changed when he got into a taxi. The driver reminded him that there was not much time left, and Kang would return to his original life. It was just like the previous Christmas Eve. The words made him remember his past life, but Kang did not want to go back and wanted to stay. Sadly, he had to return to his reality when the time came. Kang was angry because the driver was going around arranging his life. Suddenly, the car was stopped. Kang found out at that moment that the driver was his deceased father. His father told him that he regretted not spending time with Kang because he was too focused on work. Kang had not talked to his father until his father passed away. After his father's death, Kang returned home. He hugged his children tightly at night, putting them to sleep while staring at their innocent faces. He knew that he wouldn't be able to see them again the next day. After that, Soo-hyun showed Kang's picture with his father when he was a kid. Their relationship wasn't very close, but the incident in the taxi had changed Kang's view of how valuable the time with family was. He ended his final day resting comfortably with his wife, while attempting to let go of a recent experience that brought him joy. Kang woke up the next morning, feeling sad because he had lost all the good things he had. At the same time, Jo Yoon appeared and asked about Soo-hyun, who was holding an exhibition in the city. Yesterday, Jo Yoon confirmed and provided information that today was the last day of the exhibition. Kang was surprised to hear that he had initially thought that a year had passed, but it turned out that in his real life, only one day had passed since he left. Kang told Jun to apply for another audition. He also offered to pay for it. Kang went to find the exhibition venue. When he arrived, he was panicked because the event was finished and the staff was packing the paintings. Kang was surprised when he saw a painting that he recognized. It was a painting with a picture of the house he lived in his dream. Soo-hyun arrived unexpectedly and asked why he was there. Kang asked how Soo-hyun came up with that painting. Kang took Soo-hyun to a place that was depicted in her painting. Later, Kang realized that even though it was a dream, it was the happiest moment in his life. 2 years have passed since Kang married Soo-hyun. They also had twin children named Ro-hee and Ro-ha. However, their children were different from the ones he had dreamt of. This time, he will go through his life again with Soo-hyun.